What do a deadly assassin and a minimalist have in common? More than you might think. Stick around as we dive into The Killer and extract 7 minimalist lessons from David Fincher's latest feature film. It's better to go into this movie without knowing too much of the plot because it's pretty minimal, so I'm not gonna give too many spoilers. But the gist of the movie is about an assassin who ends up on this international manhunt. Aside from stunning views from places like the Dominican Republic, New York, Paris, intriguing sound design, and compelling cinematography, we've also got some minimalist tips scattered throughout the movie. The first one being that this man packs light. I'm talking super minimal. He basically carries a duffel bag around. He only takes what he needs, and he eliminates, declutters whatever he doesn't need at the time. He's able to pack light because he's created a color palette for his wardrobe. This makes it super easy to pack light because all of his items naturally match with each other. This goes in hand with the next tip, which is the capsule wardrobe. Essentially, the idea behind a capsule wardrobe is that you have very minimal clothes that you use throughout a season. For our hitman's case, or the killer, he has different wardrobes that he uses depending on the character or persona that he is disguising himself as he travels to all of these international cities and locations. Like I said earlier, decluttering is a huge tactic for the killer. He doesn't hold on to anything that he doesn't need. He gets rid of stuff very easily. He has this set of rules which he follows, one of them being fight only the battle which you are paid to fight. I think this rule really applies to decluttering because sometimes we attach ourselves to things that we don't really need to be attaching ourselves to. We're fighting this battle that we aren't getting paid to fight, so we hold on to these things that are really unnecessary. This next lesson I think is a really important one, which is never lose your personality. So even throughout the movie, we see this floral shirt, which is on the poster of the movie. We see this floral shirt and it keeps coming back. Whether that is the killer trying to blend in with the crowd or just a way of seeing this guy's personality throughout the movie, even though he seems very tactile, very cold, and very monotone throughout the whole film, there's still this sprinkle of personality. We even see him with a bucket hat at some point, which is not really a common choice, I think, for most assassins to wear. So something that I think is super crucial when decluttering from your life is to not lose a sense of who you are and what makes you unique. So if that is the floral printed shirts, then by all means, you don't have to wear black and white. You don't have to wear brown and tan. These aren't unspoken rules of minimalism. If you don't wear those colors, it doesn't mean that you're not a minimalist, obviously. And I think that there is this misconception that you have to just completely eliminate what makes you you in order to be a minimalist. And I think that that is ridiculous. So I think this is a really prime example of how not to lose that. It's okay to keep a little bit of your personality in there. Don't lose what makes you special just because you want to declutter some things from your life and live a little bit more simply. I mentioned earlier the killer's rules, and he does have this set of rules which obviously apply to his assassinations or his job more than anything else, but I think he also uses it as a mantra. It is a thing that he does in order to stay on track both in his personal life and with his work. And I think that this applies to minimalism because it's important to have a set of rules and create a system for yourself in order to stay on course. For example, if something doesn't have a home in your house, like your keys or your coat, creating a place for those things to go every day at the end of the day is super important because that's what's going to help you to create these systems in order to stay minimal. Another example of that is the old time rule of when you buy something, then eliminate something. You buy a t-shirt, then go into your closet and see what you can get rid of. And these are just rules that you can create for yourself in order to not get lost on your minimalist journey. And some of the rules that the killer has is stick to the plan and always ask yourself, what is in it for me? Whenever you are going to buy something or invest your money or your time or your energy in something, then ask yourself, what is in it for me? What do I get out of this? Is this going to bring me joy? Is it going to bring me happiness? Is it going to bring me more money? Is it going to bring me more fulfillment? But again, these are rules that you need to decide for yourself and what is applicable to your own life. This is kind of a separate lesson, but it goes in hand with the previous one. So I guess it's more of a 0.5. Anticipate, don't improvise. This is one of the killer's key rules. He says this one over and over again throughout the movie. Anticipate, don't improvise. This can apply to purchasing products, experiences, or investing time, energy, money, etc. Again, anticipate, don't improvise. If you already have these set of rules, then you know exactly the type of thing that you need to be buying and exactly the kind of thing that you need to be investing in. This is a great rule to apply for minimalism. It will prevent you from impulse buying. Since you have this idea of the types of experiences you want in life, how you want to be investing your time and your energy, and the kinds of products that you want to have in your house, then you limit yourself from improvising. So you are anticipating. For myself, this is a tangible example, is that I've created a color palette of the kinds of things that I would like to have in my home. And so because of it, when I see something that I really like, it can be beautiful on its own, but if it doesn't fit in with the color palette, then it's something that I will consider 2 or 3 times before purchasing. That helps me to not impulse buy. Again, don't improvise, anticipate. Lastly, only have what you use. So one of the rules that I have for myself is that if I can't see it, then it shouldn't exist in my life. Because of that, I don't really have a junk drawer, or I don't like to pile things in the back of a drawer or a cabinet. Just because I have these spaces to fill up doesn't mean that I want to fill them up completely. In the movie, the killer has this enormous house. It's a beautiful property. In my opinion, the house is very large for just 2 people. He lives there with his girlfriend. In looking at the house, it is very simple. There's not a lot of furniture. There aren't a lot of knickknacks or things everywhere. So it's safe to assume that he doesn't have a lot of possessions, or her. They seem to be living a very minimal life. Just because you have the space to fill up doesn't mean that you should be filling it up. If my shoe rack allows for 27 shoes, I am not going to buy 27 shoes. At the end of the day, minimalism is a personal journey, so it's super important to be mindful of the people you have around you day to day. Watch my other video about the network detox to see what I'm talking about. This movie might not be for everyone, and this video is not a recommendation to go and watch the movie, but if you enjoy watching movies, then maybe you should give it a chance and see what minimalist things you can find throughout the movie, and let me know in the comments below. For now, I'm going to go, so I will see you when I see you. Bye!